TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Diamond, your State Farm Insurance agent in DeKalb. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Diamond and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Don't forget Kids Eat for Free on Thursday. For delivery or pickup, go to pizzavilla.com or call 815-758-8116. Elder Care Services of DeKalb. Safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay in home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org. My Insurance Guy in Sycamore covers Medicare to auto care and everything in between. Stop by at 204 South Main Street in Sycamore. Call 815-899-0950 or online at myinsuranceguy.com.
And welcome into TD Ryan Unleashed, podcast number 51. Honor and the privilege with us, two icons from the DeKalb area. We have John Finn from Pizza Villa celebrating their 70th anniversary. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you, TD?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for taking time to join us. And we have Chris Bahramis. Taki, you want to find out he's called Taki. We're going to find that out later on. But Chris, of course, from the Junction Eating Place. The Junction Eating Place, again, at 816 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Chris, I was reading up about you. First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
You started working there at a very young age, did you not, sir?
Yeah, 13.
13 years old, okay, because I had my first job at a hot dog stand at 14. I always admire people that started working at a young age. John, how about you? Were you over there at Pizza Villa at a young age?
Oh, I probably started when I was 8 or 9, helping my dad janitorial, sweeping, flipping tables and stuff like that on the South 4th.
Is that right?
South 4th address.
Well, you had to do better than us, didn't you? I started at 8, but again, I love that the work you or and what were you doing? Were you busting tables and that?
Yes, busting tables, a little bit of the kitchen, dishwashing.
It's great to know every aspect of what goes on, right? For when you're in charge, you know what all those people.
You try to, yeah.
Yeah, had to do back then. So let's talk about that. For people who don't know the Junction Shopping Center, tell us like that. You know, John, I was reading up about you and your brothers, and I saw there that is it Paul or Don? Right, is it Don and your dad helped build Pizza Villa? You guys built that building? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it was Larry that worked at Pizza Villa on South 4th Street when they decided to sell. My dad, Donnie, and Larry decided to buy it. And then that building was horrendous. It was a terrible building.
Where on 4th Street was it?
It's right next to the Eagles Club.
Okay.
And then a couple of buildings down was the fire department. So we were sandwiched right in there.
Okay.
With an alley in the back to get the drivers. We had one van delivering back then.
Now, did you build the building?
Yes. There was actually 2 houses on where it sits close now.
Okay.
And my dad had them moved to Sycamore, and both Gene from the Fins Limited and Richard lived in them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
For that those cases where they moved the whole house. Huh?
They moved the whole house.
And they did it twice.
They did it twice. It was incredible. I can remember I was 10 years old. It was quite a feat to see.
So the design of the building was intentional? I mean, you have the arcade downstairs and that?
I mean, I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
But yes, it was all between Larry, my dad, and other employees, how they wanted the kitchen laid out, and they just wanted a really big place.
Okay. I know, and it's paid off, hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, so far, yes. I mean, there's some days we don't need all that space, and other days you need more space. So it kind of rolls with the punches.
Yeah. Now, Chris, at the Junction, was that a restaurant before, or tell us about that?
Yes, I believe the restaurant opened in 1969.
Okay.
So, and my father took it over in 1978.
And now all the memorabilia with the train stuff and that, was that your dad bringing that in, or was that there?
No, the original owner, I think he started everything. I think his name was Wayne.
Okay. Yeah, I have that. Wayne Drozier, I believe it was, there too. But you've kept it going all this time with the trains and everything.
Well, yeah, trying to, yeah.
Okay, is it hard to keep those trains going? Is that...
A lot of effort.
I bet.
From everyone. You know, I have a couple of guys that fix the trains and stuff like that. We have a NIU train. We have a Kishwaukee College train. So it's pretty cool to see everything. The families love to see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's tradition. I know. My grandson just brought his kid to there and he watched it, then he'll watch the same thing. It's wonderful to see that. Now, Don, I want to mention your brother Don, though, because a very interesting cat, to say the least. He worked as a cook and laid cable on the Pacific Ocean floor to track submarines. Is that right? Your brother did that?
That was actually, well, I don't know if Donnie did that. Jim did that.
Oh, well, that's at Don's obit.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe he did. Maybe they both did.
So they both,
yeah.
well,
all three were in the Navy. My
Yeah.
brother Richard, Don, and
And you were
Gene.
and you
We're
were the
all
baby. Okay.
Yep, and I'm the baby of 6. So.
And there's a sister in there too, right?
Correct, Jeanette.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's so cool. That was great. But I want a neat job.
I think that was a top secret thing. At least that's what Gene said. It was a top secret thing. So I never heard that story out of their mouth.
And he said a major sport highlight in his life was correctly guessing the date of the first ever night game at Wrigley Field, 8/8/88, and getting tickets for his whole family to win his Fifth Street.
That
So,
is correct.
What a great
Yes,
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was an avid Cub fan.
Yeah?
Avid. Oh,
And my favorite
lived
part
and died.
that stuck out to me is one of his favorite things was dancing to MC Hammer at family weddings.
I don't even remember one of those. So
Well, that's great. So you had the 3 brothers, but you and Larry and went into the business. You, Larry, and Don all went into the
correct.
business. Okay.
Right. And one other brother, Richard.
Okay. Tell us about Grandpa. Now tell us about your dad.
My dad, I truly don't know how he did all the things he did. I mean, he built apartment buildings. He bought a pizza place. He built that monstrosity out there. And I'm not sure how he financed it. And to this day, you know, the kind of history has died with other people that we really don't know. You know, a lot back then was a
Right.
handshake.
Yeah.
You know, so whether he was in debt up to his eyeballs or whatever, but everything's been paid off and still going strong.
We were in the Junction this morning talking about business. Of course, my wife with the Becky Beck's jewelry store for 34 years, and we were talking about business has changed. And she said when she started, she'd go to the bank, tell them what they needed, they'd shake hands, and they give them the money.
Yeah. I mean, now the bureaucracy, I don't even know how you would do it nowadays. You say, what do you got for collateral? Well, you know,
Hey, Chris, have you had a good relationship with the banks through the years?
Oh yeah, over the years, Heartland Bank, First State Bank, Resource Bank. So it's been great. You know, my family's been banking for years here at DeKalb.
Now you have to go. See, you got your phone too. But that's great to know that. So let's talk about how we got started because with Pizza Villa, one of the things that Ryan, my stepson, mentioned was the trucks. Whenever they saw the trucks in the hood. Now you have a whole fleet of trucks now, but you said back then it was the van to start out. How'd you end up with the fleet of trucks there delivering pizza?
again, that was kind of Larry and Don. Don wasn't so much into it. He kind of liked to play things by the book. That was an expensive endeavor, but it just helped us grow our delivery and also keep the product good. I mean, in the old days, they used to use a hot box
Right.
with sterno, or back, I can remember filling little propane cylinders.
Really?
Yeah. They used to work on propane cylinders. So
So your trucks are designed to keep the pizza and the food warm, obviously.
that is correct. Yeah, they're made they're made more for catering,
Okay.
but we just use them for delivery. The oven maintains them about 175, 180 degrees.
And I have to mention also that Ryan said it was the high end. So if you saw somebody getting Pizza Villa truck there, that's big time, boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did great over at Northern for a long time. Well, we had what was called like the Nugget Express, where they would phone in, say, come to Grant North. Our truck would go over there and they would just come out and buy nuggets. And we would just run the circuit of all the dorms all the night.
Yeah, I could do you one better because you would go and you'd actually hang out there, right? You'd hang out at the dorms there and
Yes, and just wait.
selling beer nuggets.
Yep.
And you had a guy named Mr. Fizz, or what was his name there?
Mr. Nugget, Villa Nugget.
Villa Nuggets. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
He's up right to the loop over there. So he'd go and hang out at the dormitories and wait for the kids to come back. And what was it, $5 for a bag of nuggets?
Oh, it wasn't even that back then. I think it was $3.
Oh, $3?
$3, yeah. And I think you could buy a little pizza for $2. So we had a combo for like $4.50.
Okay.
You could buy a little piece and a bag of nuggets. But it was just instantaneous. You know, it was kind of like a version of Grubhub.
Right.
You know, you make a call, then all of a sudden it shows up. So
And Chris, he was noticing too, the same thing. But with you guys, you relied on those NIU students and you took care of them. You offered good, healthy, practical meals, right?
Yes.
That didn't cost too much.
Yeah, no, not back then. I think coffee was like 15 cents. Cinnamon roll, we still have today, it was like 95 cents.
Uh-huh.
I look at old menus all the time, like, how the heck did they survive doing that?
I know. To figure how much they'd have to sell there. I wonder if this is one of the articles written about the Junction. It says, on any given morning, you will find tables occupied by college students from nearby Northern Illinois University, nursing hangovers with massive breakfast, retirees delivering over coffee and newspapers, families with their children mesmerized by the train circling overhead, and workers grabbing a quick but satisfied meal before heading out to their jobs. A mix of patrons creates a lively, welcoming atmosphere that embodies the best aspects of the community dining. You know, I just did a podcast, and I looked up how DeKalb breaks down ethnically and it's like 30% white, 30% black, 30% Hispanic. And then we have Pacific Island and stuff. So your place is really a melting pot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get all different types of people coming in there.
Everyone. I've known customers since they didn't know me when I was born.
Uh-huh.
So, I used to walk around and my dad would hold my hand. And I would see everybody, Hispanics, everyone.
Was it a problem? Ryan also mentioned that him and the gang is when he was in high school, they would come and invade you guys over there at the Junction eating place and order like one order of fries between 10 people. And he talked about the gravy fries. Tell us about the gravy fries.
And you wouldn't believe this, but when I was in high school, all of a sudden I got a lot of friends. Because, that Friday night they wanted me to buy them gravy fries all the time.
And he said he'd ask for more gravy all the time.
Yeah, gravy fries all the time. But a party of 10 with one order of fries and a pot of coffee.
Now, that must have been a tough business decision because I've worked in a couple places where I worked at a 7-Eleven type store where the kids would come in right after school and there was pretty much chaos for about an hour while they, bought a bag of chips or some candy. But why did you allow them to keep doing that? Because that was their hangout. He said that was a place they would go and hang out at the Junction.
Yeah, they did. On a Friday night after the football game, a lot of kids smoked back then. The bars closed at 2 in the morning. They would come to the bars afterwards and stuff like that. So
now, how late did you stay open then? Now recently I know you went from
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah, we closed at 4 a.m. and my dad and Uncle John and they would clean it up and reopen again at 6.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow. And of course, John, you didn't stay open that late, right? But I know the college kids were a staple for you guys.
We used to stay open till like 1 o'clock.
Oh, you
I
did?
can remember many a nights on the weekends. If you were really busy, we treat them to breakfast at the Junction. Go over to the Junction at like 2 o'clock in the morning and have steak and eggs. Yeah, those were the good days.
Wow.
They truly were. Those were fun days.
That is awesome. So I want to mention your dad too, Chris. Gus, tell us about Gus back in the day, because I have here an article we're talking about. That was Wayne Dozier. The Junction eating place was established in 1969 by Wayne Dozier, then sold to Bahramis, Uncle Bill and Peter, right?
Tagalas, yeah.
In
That was,
72?
1972, I think.
Yeah. The brothers were immigrants who came to the States from a small town called Destania?
Destani.
Destani?
Yeah.
In the southern part of Arcadia, in Greece. They started working in a restaurant at a young age in Chicago. Bahramis said that's you. They just really fell in love with the business. His father, the late Gus Bahramis, who died on March of 2018, Gus's brother John bought the Junction in 1978 with their cousin Tom. All right.
Yeah.
So you're all family in there, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, it's all Greek to me.
Well, where does it stand now? Are you the owner? Are you the sole owner? Or?
Yeah, well, my brothers and I, yes.
Okay.
So family owned.
Uh-huh.
We don't really pick and choose who owns it. It's just family owned.
I love that. That's great. But now, what about the tough times? I was just kind of waiting on this. I want to ask you both about the COVID time because that must have been awful for both of you. And how you guys got through it. How did you get through? Chris, let me ask you, how did you get through the COVID? With the,
Well, we did Eat Street at that time. Eat Street, Uber Eats, and stuff like that. We did a lot of carryouts.
Okay.
Really, really helped. Delivered. I delivered myself. So.
Was there a point where you were like, oh my God, we're going to go under here?
Not so much me, but my uncles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were just shocked. I was shocked as well. Like, I don't know what's going on here right now.
Yeah, and you didn't know how long it was going to last, right?
No.
Yeah.
I did not.
John, how'd you guys deal with that, with the COVID?
To be totally honest, COVID was good for us. I mean, that's a sad thing to say.
No, but I
except-
understand because you're
except-
delivering. Yeah.
Right, except for the headaches of the people, short-staffed, never knowing who was going to come down with COVID, and they're out for 7 days max.
Yeah.
But I mean, the pizza industry really as a whole was kind of built for that.
Yeah.
You can deliver, we did curbside pickup. So, I mean, they never
Because you were
had-
doing that anyway, right?
Right. I mean, we closed our dining rooms, and that was really weird to go out there on a Friday night and it just be dark,
Yeah.
But, we survived very, very well during COVID.
Okay.
It wasn't, except for losing, well, we didn't really lose out because we took our waitresses and made them into runners for the curbside.
Okay.
So we kept everybody employed. We tried to do the best we could and keep everybody safe, and we got through it.
That's great. And Chris, what'd you do with the employee? Did you have to lay him off for a little while, or what was that like?
Actually, the same as Mr. Finch said, curbside pickup, carry out orders, with the phone and stuff like that. So everything worked out really well for them too.
All right, very good. Now, unfortunately, we talked when you lost your brother back in the day, John, and we talked about him, and Here I have about your brother. So, born and raised in DeKalb, the Finn family all went to DeKalb High School. 3 of the Finn brothers, Richard, Donald, and Gene, were in the Navy.
Correct.
The sister, Jeanette, lives in Genoa, and John is the youngest. That was you were 62 back then, John.
Yeah, I was young back then, right?
Is Jeanette still in that?
Yeah, she lives actually in Sycamore now. She used to
Sycamore.
live in Genoa, now she lives in Sycamore.
Okay.
Retired school teacher.
Well, yeah, Larry just sounded like such a character. I remember,
Oh.
unfortunately, he came in the radio station when we lost him, and we talked about Larry, what he meant to the people. The favorite thing I remember about that was that Larry would go to up the people's tables, sit down, and start eating their food while he was talking.
He always had to sample, make sure the quality was still up to par. Now, Larry was a character. I don't have nearly the gift of gab he does, or just like I said, he could go into a bar in the middle of China and start up a conversation with somebody. So
I was reading one of the reviews of the Junction, and they said one thing they were really admired was that the owner would come up to the table and ask how things were. I ate there this morning, and you came up and, why is that important, Chris, that you check on your people like that?
I mean, honestly, every customer counts.
Uh,
That's my father always taught me. My father, these customers, they really pay for the house we live in, the cars we drive, the school that my siblings attended, stuff like that, that goes on our back. So that's how we always raised, and that's what we do.
And the working owners I love because I worked in several restaurants growing up, and even when I was older, worked both 2 restaurants with 2 couples. They both ended up getting divorced, and losing the restaurant. But I know how much pressure there is in working like that. And has it been tough for you getting through these?
I think I lost my hair. It's been the last couple of years. Honestly, it's been a struggle.
Uh-huh.
So I have a great family to help me out and stuff like that.
That
Great
support
customer.
system, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. And you too, Jack, as well. I know I see CJ, your son, is
yeah,
taking over
CJ
now.
there. I mean, for anybody that's out there, I don't know who would have wanted to ever go in the restaurant business. It's one of the hardest industries in the world to just go. I mean, there's just so many moving parts.
Well, the stat that always got to be the first year, 50% of restaurants close in the first year, and then 50% close from the second year, 50% of them from the second year. So, I mean, that is really rough.
It is. It's just, I mean, you say you have a day off, but you never have a day off. I mean, you never know when the phone's going to call, cooler's broken, somebody didn't show up, delivery's wrong.
Chris is nodding his head.
I mean, there's really no, quote, days off. I mean, we're just very blessed. I'm blessed with my son now, but we're very blessed with the employees that we have that they really care just like they were family.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Miguel, one of our head pizza guys, he's been with me 33 years.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, he's just like a brother. You know, I mean, they kind of watch your back when you're not there.
My favorite question to radio was nature versus nurture. Do you think you'd be in the pizza business if the old man and grandpa wasn't in the pizza business?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, that's a real answer. That is.
No.
And yet
I mean,
you saw CJ heading down that path and you didn't want
I
to stop
tried
it.
to deter him the best that I could, but he got out of college and he tried his thing for a few years. And CJ's also just a very people person.
Yeah, he sounds like Larry got that Larry part.
Yeah, you know, so he loves, I mean, and that's what kept me there. You know, every day is different. You know, you had your college kids and you get to see your customers. You know, even though I'm the baby, they would always mention Larry first, you know, but, you know.
But then jumping in when you needed to, I just love that. And Chris, I know you're the same way. You'll run it, you know, you'll clear a table, you'll run a meal to somebody. You're not. I worked with several owners that was beyond that. They would tell me to do that, but they wouldn't do that themselves. And I think people really appreciate that.
Yeah, and like Mr. Finn said with his son, my dad did not want me to get in the restaurant business.
No, okay.
No.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he wanted me to go to school and get out of the whole restaurant industry.
So you're a young guy, you're a teenager, you're clearing tables, doing stuff, whatever dad needs. Did it start go, all right, I'm gonna do this when I get older too. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah, pretty
Huh?
much. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to own my dad's restaurant and stuff like that.
So you really fulfilled that dream.
Yeah, I did.
That's amazing. And anything we said, CJ is the next. So CJ now is the 3rd generation, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And the thing about Larry, I love that people always say they want to die what they love doing. And Larry, unfortunately, at the age 70, collapsed after an hour after pheasant hunting in Princeton with his brother Richard.
Yeah, besides my brother being there, that was probably the best possible scenario for him to go.
I know. Well, when we say we want to die, what we're doing, what we love doing, and
exactly.
he literally did that.
That, thank God, I wasn't in front of the oven. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I could go to work anymore.
Oh,
if
my.
that would have been the case. But
Now, is CJ, has he got the offspring? Are we getting the fourth generation?
He's
in the
got
works
4
here?
kids.
Okay.
So I have no idea. No clue. We'll find out. They're still young. So, and my daughter has 3 boys. They're in Naperville, but
You
who
never
knows?
know. I know. Like I
What-
said,
I've already said, Ted, whatever happens, we've had an awesome run. You can't ask for more than that. So,
no.
I mean, I've been blessed by God to have my family start that business, and I've just been a kind of a gatekeeper. So just keep the doors open and keep going.
I love it. That's great. That's wonderful. And again, I'm talking about the Junction again now. The most popular dish, according to this article, this is about 5 years old. The Trailblazer. That's still the number one there.
We switched it up. Now it comes with 3 eggs and 3 pieces of meat.
Oh my. Okay.
And so pancakes, sloppy pancakes, and stuff like that.
I got the biscuits and gravy this morning myself. But why? Tell us about how has your menu changed much through the years?
Yeah, we had to take a lot of stuff out. It was my dad, my uncle was kind of the opposite. He kept on adding. I'd take a lot of the stuff out and add newer things and stuff like that.
Becky and I love to watch a show called Restaurant Impossible. I don't know if you've ever seen that, where the guy goes in there and
Yeah.
sees how it's operation. And they always go back in the cooler, and the cooler's always a little scary back there too.
Yeah.
But you don't need anybody coming in and telling you guys how to run the operation. I should point out to people, you're in like an old cafe where you actually have the counter, right? Where
Yeah.
and people still sit at the counter tells them
They
like
do.
that.
They sure do. It's a lot different now. You can't smoke.
Okay. So back in the day, you got smoking, because I saw one sign today that no smoking area.
We kept that up there.
Okay.
So, and if the fringe part is no smoking, but the whole restaurant smelled like smoke back then.
That was always weird when you had one section you could smoke and one section you couldn't smoke, and it was just kind of a
A lot
joke.
of farmers coming in at 5:30, at 6 in the morning, and they would drink a bunch of coffee, smoke some cigarettes, and go to work.
I love it. Now, is there a certain type of guy, I should say guy, but that sits at the counter? Because, there's certain counter guys, that come in.
Anyone really. They just want to be, I don't know, I guess not be bothered, or one wants to be bothered and one doesn't.
Right.
They go up to the counter and, a little attention, talk to the
Yeah, because the waitress is like a bartender at that point, right?
pretty much. Make
Okay.
coffee.
Yeah.
You still get drunk on coffee, I guess.
That's good.
So they just sit there and chat, and some don't. They want to read the paper, and we still have customers that read the papers.
I know, that's old school.
Yeah, not everyone's on their phone all the time.
That's great. I love that old diner feel there. Now, here's the big controversy. I had to do one controversy here, and that is the beer nugget controversy. This was an article from 2014. They talk about the origin of the beer nuggets. Larry Finn says, what so many locals know, beer nuggets are a DeKalb thing, as he said.
That is true. I don't think I've ever encountered them anywhere else.
Is that right?
No.
Finn claims he was one of the original inventors of the beer nuggets in 1985, which I guess many local pizza places would deep fry scraps of leftover pizza dough and sell them as nuggets. We also had when the Bob Wire fraternity was duked out between Elwood, Glidden, and Haish, the winner of the beer nugget controversy has no official winner. And she mentions Sergeant Pepper's. Remember
Sergeant Pepper's.
Now, they claim that
Hannigan's.
all right, yes, they're mentioned as well.
Yeah.
She found a phone book and advertised in 1984 Sergeant Pepper's, which was located on West Lincoln Highway, was billed itself as the world famous beer nuggets. J.P. Hannigan, J.P. Hannigan, which was on Blackhawk Drive, declined to be voted best pizza by local newspaper writers and college students, and listed beer nuggets as a trademark menu item as well. But Larry kind of refined it, right? He said, Larry saying our nugget dough is made just for nuggets. Finn said Pizza Villa experimented with the idea of beer nuggets in 1985, trying different formulas and different ways to make them puffy.
That is correct. I mean, that was, I think, the way it all started. You roll out your dough, you cut it in a circle or whatever, and you have the scraps.
Right.
Well, a lot of people proofed those scraps again and started, making the nuggets.
Okay.
Well, like Larry said, we took it a step further and tried to get, like you said, the puffiness, try to get the rise, try to get the color, the texture to be nice and brown. So I think that's Larry's claim to fame is we actually developed a different sauce. We have 3 different sauces. We developed the dough and the sauce just for the nugget.
All right, very good. And I should point out there, Finn said in the late 1980s, employees would fill up their delivery truck ovens with bags of beer nuggets so they could cart them over to NIU dorms from 9 p.m. to midnight each night. Finn said the students would wait on the curb between the dorm study sessions, and drivers would radio in when they needed to pick up more. Vince said students got to know the drivers quite well.
Yep, that's our Nugget Express, we called it.
And that's what we had a gentleman called Villa Man. You
Villa
said.
Man,
He was a little crazy. He had a cape that had a Villa Man on it. So he had a cape.
He took it to the extreme. Let me just say, he loved that. I mean, we sold hundreds a night. So I mean, it was
What a great idea to go to go where the people are.
exactly.
Everybody knew him. They said they were on commission. He got paid like 50 cents per bag for
Yep.
nuggets. So Villa Man came up with a gimmick to help sell them the nuggets.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
what a great story.
In fact, he was in the store probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay,
Villa Man.
I love that.
He came in. He didn't have his cape on, but I recognized him at the front counter when he came in. So it was good to see him.
That is awesome. And then in the same article, it says many former students and even former delivery drivers come back to Pizza Villa to get their fill of treats. Many bring their children eager to share the Bare Nuggets experience with them. I know Ryan Beck, who you know well, did that with his kid. They went there, and then of course then they had the fries over there at the Junction, the gravy fries as well. So great to see that next generation.
Oh, all the time, all the time. In fact, we've had, I think at last count, 5 marriages from people
Is that
who
right?
worked at the Villa together.
Wow.
So
And how about now? You know, I just met some young people they still have a great work ethic. And do you have trouble hiring young people now? Krista, the waitress who I had this morning, she was fantastic.
A little harder than you used to be, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, before going to school now, and they don't really want to serve. But I really, I don't know, I've been not talking to people.
right.
You know,
Because this generation, they're more on their phone, you know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to interacting with people, that's an important thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, you can't find servers as much as you used to, that's for sure.
well, and before, you would, the word would get out and you would have 30 people come in
Yeah.
and fill out an application. Now,
Yeah.
it's like, do you have a friend who would like a job or whatever?
Yeah.
But I have been impressed. We've had probably 3 or 4 high school kids, and their work ethic has been phenomenal. Some nice, good race kids there that want to get out and make car money, gas money.
Right.
You know, things like that. So I've been really impressed with because we never hired high school students before.
Yeah.
We had our full of college students. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, now we get to the kitchen, which is most important. But again, I've worked in many restaurants, and I know I've worked with some temperamental chefs before. I remember I worked at whenever we serve a steak, if they had to ask for the steak sauce, the chef would slam the A1 sauce out of it was there. Or if we asked him to cook the steak some more, he'd cook it so it was well done in the air. They cooked enough for you. But those guys, that's your bread and butter there, right? No pun intended, right? Tell us about the guy. You said Manny's been there for 33 years. You said?
Yeah, Miguel.
Miguel.
I mean, I don't know. It is a business, but it just feels almost like a second home to some of these people because they tend to work 3 or 4 nights,
Yeah.
and we just have a great feeling in there. I mean, there's always a new guy who'll come in that doesn't quite fit in, but if they don't fit in, they usually don't last long. So it's we just have a great rapport there with a lot of the help.
I love that.
Almost all the help, yes.
And I've worked in the morning places too, and I know how important it is to get that food out right away. And that's why you got to have somebody in the kitchen who knows what they're doing, right?
Yeah, and right now, Mr. Finn said about high school students. Your server today was a high school student.
Oh, what's she really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's right. A lot of the high school students are willing to work for extra gas money and, to pay their phone bill or get the new app, whatever they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And how about the kids in the kitchen? How about the people in the kitchen?
Oh, they've been there for 20 years.
All right, so you take care of them. I mean, obviously
Oh, yeah.
they're content with working there.
A lot of the cooks, like I said, they see me, they've known me since I was a little kid.
Uh-huh.
And so, wait, you're my boss.
See, but they saw you work it, so I'm sure that they don't have a problem with
A
that.
lot of respect from those guys. I could not do what they're doing. That's for sure.
No
way.
way. I know.
I
That's
would
right.
just stay away from the kitchen.
Right. And treat them with respect. And when one restaurant I worked at, I learned all the dirty words in Spanish because
Yes.
all the voice in the kitchen. You learn that rather quickly. I want to ask you, Pizzaville, about the clown. The clown, even mentioned in Don's obituary that he kept the clown going. Tell us
Yeah.
about the clown at the Pizza Villa.
Well, my dad bought that probably, I think, somewhere in the early 90s, late 80s. He was down in, what the heck town is that? Can't remember now, but he saw this clown in a restaurant. He said, I got to get one of those. And sure enough, about a month later, something came in the mail, opened it up, and there it was. And it's been on the fireplace ever since. We have one backup clown. That's
Oh, you got
at
a
my
backup one?
house. Yeah. We have a seamstress that makes his outfits, and I've changed numerous motors.
We should point
I'm
out-
kind of like Chris in the trains. I'm the clown man. If something breaks, you got to get it fixed pretty quick because people either, as you said, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Some kids love it. Some kids got to sit with their back towards so they don't see it. So,
I always found clowns a little disturbing myself.
yeah.
And then Ryan, I was talking to him because my source for all this stuff. We talked about the game room, and he talked about the Fred Flintstone game
Yeah.
with the Yabba Dabba Doo. And he's, you always hear the Yabba Dabba Doo.
Still there.
Still there.
Still there. Again, we had to resource that out to a very handyman, and he got it running again, and it's still there.
love that.
Still spitting out eggs.
And I want to mention the food because you're in this article. You mentioned that you get your food from. We make our daily fresh sauce, dough and sausage. We get our meat from Inbones.
Yep.
Inbones is a local meat market.
Yep.
So that's great that you support locally like that as
Yep.
well.
Tom does a great job down there. It's always fresh, always good, high quality. You got to know where it comes from.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we make our own dough daily, sauce. Sausage, we get the raw sausage from them, and then we mix our own seasoning in it.
Okay.
So it doesn't taste like anybody else's. That's our own proprietary blend. We get our cheese aged for us by Julia Mancuso cheese. So it's kind of a custom pizza thing.
Yeah.
Not just,
They age the cheese for you. Huh?
yeah,
That's neat.
yeah.
Hey, Chris, how about you? Have you had with food service? You had trouble keeping?
We do with Don Borden as well. You know, Mr. Borden, I know Dusty for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
We're kids. We love buying their product. We use a lot of vendors out of town.
Uh,
You know, but we love to support local places like Mr. Vineyard does too.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to see that. Now, before we go, I want to mention the Richard Jenkins was back, very famous actor. A lot of people know him. They would know him. They saw his face. Was back, and he was talking about working at Pizza Villa. He said that back in the day, he was forced to visit Pizza Villa where he used to work. Yeah,
Yeah.
but did you know that, Richard?
I did
Why would
not
you do that, obviously?
I was there when he came in, and he talked to my brother Larry. That was in his era, but yeah, Dick has always been. He comes in. I think his pizza's a sausage onion, if I'm not mistaken. But he came into the kitchen, took pictures with people, took pictures in front of the oven and that. About the only other famous person more than that was Cindy Crawford. Came in a couple times.
Okay.
But that's our kind of claim to fame there.
Well, my source for this interview, Ryan Beck, he can make the claim that Cindy Crawford saw him naked because she babysat for him back in the day.
Oh, gotcha.
Ryan
Okay.
always reminds that Cindy Crawford saw him naked. Taki, where did the Taki come from? Chris? Taki Brown.
Nickname. My dad
Talk to that
called
mic
me
there.
Taki, and that was it.
But
And now everybody calls me Taki. If somebody calls me Chris, I go,
I know when I first come to see, I go, "Is Chris here?" And they kind of look at me. They go, "You mean Taki?" Taki's in the back. So what does that mean, though? Is that this? Your dad is?
it means like little one in Greek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like little Taki. My name is Christo, Taki.
Okay.
So that was it.
So you embraced it then, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Because I had four brothers, and I was Little Rye. They call me Little Rye. Little Rye. I didn't mind Little Rye. But you guys, you have tell us about the catering business. Taki's to Go. Tell us about that, please.
We started a couple years ago. We do a lot with factories that I want to do something together with my family.
Yeah.
A little bit apart. So we do a lot of catering for factories and stuff like that. We do catering for DeKalb High School. We do some catering for Northern. It's just a new venture that we were trying out. It's been about 8-9 years now.
Okay, yeah. People don't realize how much catering is done around here locally, right? So how did you get the ball rolling? How did you get the word out that you were doing it?
A lot of phone calls.
Okay.
Annoying people like, shut up, water from you.
But it's working out good.
That's doing pretty well, yeah.
And it's not just, I should point out, it's Greek cuisine, but it's also like hot dogs and stuff like that too, right?
We can do whatever they want. Whatever a customer wants, we'll make it.
And you don't need a lot of lead time. You need some lead time, but
I'm sorry.
you need some lead time, right?
Yeah,
A day.
maybe a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure on the radio, I'm not making the food, so.
And then tell us about the logo. You got Taki, got you carrying a little hat on backwards and carrying a little bag there.
I wear a lot of tracksuits.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I think tracksuits.
They're
are cool.
comfortable. Yeah.
So my buddy of mine made that outfit for me. He was like, hey, here's a logo.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And now it's stuck.
Yeah.
And there was something else you wanted to mention too. That'll be the catering and off the air. I forget what you said.
I'm sorry.
You wanted to mention something else besides the catering.
The dog bowl food trailer.
Oh yeah, what is that about? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something another thing that we started, another venture that we started.
And what does that consist of?
I'm sorry.
What is it?
Crispy chicken sandwich, really big burger, gyro, smoothies, center fries, whatever they want. Pretty much a big, beautiful burger that we have.
Okay.
Big, beautiful bun that we deliver to. So
So you got that going too.
yeah.
So, so do you ever take any time off? I was joking with you off the air.
If I was at home all day, I'd go nuts.
And John, you too? What, do you get CJ getting all room to take over?
Yeah, we're growing them. I still go out there every morning, but I don't have to stay as late now. We have people to close and that, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, so when I called the other night, and then you answered the phone, like, what is John doing answering the phone?
Same
Oh,
old
yeah,
thing,
same
you know,
thing with Chris, yeah.
when something, if she's busy doing something else, or phone girl, if it's ringing, you pick it up and answer it. Because you never know who's on the other end.
You never know. That's for sure. And I want to leave it with the employees because I know that's the most important thing. When you were posted about your 70th year, Michelle Maybell said, my first job was at Pizza Villa back in 1987. I think I still have my red T-shirt somewhere. The Finns made working such a great time. Oh, Larry had so many funny stories. You are missed. So that's got to speak volumes there. An ex-employee post something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Facebook kind of guy, but all my employees are, and CJ, he's the tech guy. But you put up an article and they go, well, I remember back, we didn't get away with that, but no, I mean, we've had fantastic employees, and we still have the greatest employees. They're just, can't say enough about them.
I love that. You know, my former newsman, Scott Zach, whenever we'd be talking in the morning about a restaurant that may have closed locally here, I said, oh, it's a shame. And people say it's a shame. And then he'd say to me, and when was the last time you went there?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's so important to places like the Junction, Chris, that we support you guys, right? Because, again, you've been through the thick and the thin, and like you talk about, you keep people locally employed, and it's so great that people get back to the place the way they do. Chris?
Sorry.
It's great that the support you've gotten from the community through the years.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. The river and like my dad, my uncle. So it's awesome. Like Mr. Finn, too. A lot of servers come back. I remember your dad. I remember your uncle. Even me, Taki, how you doing? Stuff like that. So, adults now, and they were kids. They remember my dad, and now they're, my age, older. Like I remember you were a kid. I remember I used to work here for your dad, and I remember the train. That. So,
And it's still there. See, that's what's great, the legacy that you guys carry. Well, it's been a pleasure, again, getting to know you guys better, and then the family, the way it's such a family thing at both restaurants that you guys are at. And I want to thank you personally for supporting me with the podcast. You've both been tremendous with doing that, and you didn't have to do that, and it really meant a lot to me. When I lost my job, I was really at probably the lowest point of my life, and you guys stepped up, and just want to thank you for that, because it really meant a lot to me that you guys
Hey, no worries. I mean, I love listening to you guys in the morning, so it was a shame they pulled the plug on all that.
Well, and again, they do stuff like this. And Chris, I want to thank you so much for all you've done for the community and keep doing. And maybe take a vacation. Maybe get a couple of days off there. You and John should go somewhere and relax, for God's sake. All right. But thank you guys so much for what you do for the community. We really appreciate that. Again, that's our friends from the Junction Eating Place and Pizza Villa, our guest this morning. Big thanks to my nephew, Michael Babes, who gets us on the air. And that's TD Ryan Unleashed podcast number 51.